Going to be showing you a really powerful crowd control build that I use for Legendary. Let me just show you the pieces. So you'll be running one Vile Mask. Okay, with the Vile Mask you can do damage with status effects. 4-piece Eclipse Protocol, all rolled status effect and skill haste. And one Hana-U backpack with Creeping Death. Okay, the main purpose of this build is to use the foam. Okay, so this is not a status damage build, it is a crowd control build with the foam. I will be showing you the other variation for an actual damage build for the Eclipse Protocol. But for this one, your main aim is to basically foam the enemy, stun lock the enemy into one place with the unsnare. So let me just show you with the Creeping Death. Okay, so what you want to do is get someone and it spreads. So because of the Creeping Death talent on the backpack, the talent spreads when you hit one enemy, and if there's 3 or 4 enemies within the 8-meter radius of the person you just foamed, it will foam the rest of the enemies around that guy. The cooldown is 15 seconds, so you do have to wait before you can use it again, but 15 seconds is not really that long. This really helps your DPS players in Legendary because you know, they can just kill them while they're foamed. They can't really do anything. They're just stuck in one place. Also, reason I'm running 4-piece Eclipse is because of the talent, indirect transmission. So your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 10 meters. Okay, so that's one of the important things. The chest piece is also very important because the chest piece has a talent. So the range goes from 10 meters to 15 meters. Okay, so basically you won't be doing any damage. You'll just be foaming. And what you want to do, or what you want your DPS players to do, is kill the people that are foamed. So then it starts to spread. Because of the Vile Mask, you can see the foam is actually doing some damage. So it is killing some of the reds. So if I kill that guy, it continues to spread. Okay, so that's the main aim. You can run the Scorpio, but the problem with using the Scorpio is, say you don't have Creeping Death proc, you could waste Creeping Death because if I shoot the enemy, because Scorpio does status effect, it spreads. It's either getting damage, and that is because of the Creeping Death and the Vile Mask. So the Vile Masks actually increases the damage of the status effect. So without the Vile Mask, the foam actually won't do any damage. So let me just show you. I'm just going to change this Vile Mask piece to, I don't know, an Empress, for example. Okay, and let me foam that guy. See, no damage whatsoever. Because the foam is not a damage, it's not really for damage, but you know, you can do some damage with it. Okay, and the secondary skill, you can use whatever. I tend to use the EMP sticky because just for the robots, the robots are down for a longer period. So say EMP sticky or robotic, they're down for 26.9 seconds. As you can see the duration there. You could use the jammer as well, so you can get multiple robotics, but they're only down for 8.4 seconds. You know, if you had a few DPS players running an EMP sticky, it does help. This is the actual build they run on speedruns. I wouldn't really recommend this on heroic. You can use it for heroic, but there's a better version, which uses the fire starter. Okay, which uses that one, and you actually do a lot of damage with it. So, yeah, I'm also using the Everlasting Glaze. Okay, so when you get a headshot, it increases the status effect damage and duration by 50%, cooldown 16 seconds. So what you want to do, okay, you shoot them in the head once. Let me just reset that. You shoot them in the head once. You see that? The figure of 8. But don't do this. Don't swap guns because it does remove the proc. It disappears. So basically, it's not there. So you just wanna use it. Go to your foam and foam them. Yeah, and then you can see there it's on a cooldown. Now then you can swap weapons. Okay. One important thing is I'm also using the survivalist specialization. That is because two things on there, which will help your teammates, is so you yourself get 10% protection from elites, but that is not what we're after. We are after this one thing here, survivalist tactical link. So because you're doing status effect, okay, the enemies take 10% more damage. Okay, so yeah, let me just take you through the pieces. So Biomask, honey you with creeping death, status effect skill haste, and all the pieces are status effect, and the backpack status effect skill haste. Okay, so this is the build that you want to run on legendary. This will really help your DPS players or anyone you're playing with on legendary. I don't recommend this on heroic. You can run it on heroic, but there's a much better version for heroic. Also, with the survivalist, you have the incendiary grenades, which are very useful. Honestly, they're really useful in certain parts of legendary. Let me show you the other version of the status effect. So this version does a lot of damage. Okay, this is what you want to run in heroic if you want to do some damage. Okay, so you actually want to run the Eclipse Protocol backpack. I'm not gonna bother modding it. Okay, and you want to run a Golem because it gives you status effect. Let me see if I can find that piece on here. Okay, there we go. So you actually want to run it this way. Yeah, so you want the backpack. The backpack gives you amplifies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 30%, which is a lot, and a golden piece because it gives you 10% status effect. So, and with that, you also want to run the firewall, okay, because it gives you 20% burn duration, okay. Plus, these are not the skills. You don't want to run foam with this build. Ideally, you want to run the fire starter. Okay, so that's when you run. You can run it with a Stinger Hive or anything that deals status effect, but it's better when you use the fire starter. Okay, so I'll show you the damage that you can actually do with the fire starter. So this it can be good for legendary, but it's nowhere near as good as foam because foam, stun locks enemies and DPS can just shoot them. I wouldn't. You can, as I said, you can run this, but foam is much better on legendary. This is much better for heroic stuff. Okay, just do that there. And see the damage you do with that. An insane amount of damage, and that's not even this talent activated either. You wanna run status effect and skill haste mods on here. Okay. If you do want to run foam, you can run foam on this version. I like to run. I actually don't like running the fire starter. I'll show you my favorite way of running this. So I like to run the riot foam. Okay. And honestly, when I run it this way, I tend to get a lot more damage than when I run the fire starter because sometimes it's a bit annoying to get the cloud in. Okay. I like to run it this way. So I'm running it with a riot foam and a burn sticky bomb. So all you have to do is foam someone. They're literally you can literally take your time aiming this. And you're basically doing foam damage and fire damage, and that spreads as well. So you're basically spreading foam and fire at the same time, which is pretty OP. This is my favorite way. You do have to practice getting good at using the sticky bomb. I mean, the foam makes it really easy because with the sticky bomb it just auto locks. See, I'm not even aiming. If you're looking at them, it just instantly locks onto them, just to let you guys know. Also with the fire starter, let me just tell you a tip for anyone that not know this. So when, say, my fire starter is on my R1 button, all you have to do is shoot it and just double tap R1. It does it instantly, so you don't actually have to shoot the smoke or the cloud. So yeah, this is the heroic version. So you want to run Valmask, the Eclipse Protocol backpack and chest piece with a Eclipse Protocol glove and holster and one Golem. Yeah, with skill haste and status effect. Now you could run Wyvern Wear for skill damage. You can even change the skill haste to skill damage if you want to do a bit more damage. But this is how you run it. I highly recommend running this talent. You don't have to run the Scorpio, but you can deal some damage with the Scorpio because of the backpack. So when you say spec them, you shoot them with a Scorpio, you're basically dealing 30% more damage. Or you could run this assault rifle named assault rifle with this build. So I have this version on my other character, so you could run this one. The Pyromaniac, which is perfectly ignited, so deal 25% weapon damage to burning enemies. So they're burning, you can shoot them with this gun to just continue to spread the stairs effect. Okay, so yeah, I'll show you the legendary version one more time. Okay, one Valmask, Hana you with Creeping Death, 4-piece Golem backpack. Okay, foam. This is mainly for the foam. The other version, the second version I showed you, is mainly for the fire starter. Okay, but you can use it with foam too. I showed you the example, my favorite way of using it, but yeah, this is the legendary version. Okay, and remember the specialization. This one uses the survivalist. The other one uses I forgot the name. The one with the flamethrower. Firewall. There we go. Yeah, the other one uses firewall. All right. I hope that helps you guys. So those are two builds, one for legendary, one for heroic. Yeah, I actually have both builds. I have this one on this character, which this character has all my legendary builds, and my second one just for heroic content. But you remember, guys, you don't do DPS with this build. The main aim is to stun lock enemies. You can even stun lock spawn points in legendary. Obviously, if you're with a good group, it makes a big difference. So what you want to do is you want to foam one person or a group of people. It'll spread to the others, and you want to make sure that your DPS players kill those guys so it continues to spread. Yeah, cool. Peace.